fuck himself.
Well, he said right away. Come on, Badusky. It's your ass if you don't. Look, maybe your orders came through. Come on, Badusky. It's your ass. Bullshit.
Today's movie is The Last Detail, Jack Nicholson, the Navy, and One Unforgettable Road Trip. Have you ever wondered how a movie about military escorts ferrying a young sailor to jail could be so hilarious, heartbreaking, and profound? Well, let's break down 1973's The Last Detail. Directed by Hal Ashby and written by Robert Towne, this movie captures the rebellious spirit of the 70s, blending dark comedy with raw emotion. Today, we're unpacking why this criminally underrated film stands the test of time, Nicholson's electric performance, and the crazy stories that happened behind the scenes. Ready to dive in? Let's set sail. Alright, here's the setup for The Last Detail. Nicholson plays Billy Badass Badusky, a fast-talking, perpetually pissed-off Navy man who's tasked, along with the more reserved Mule, played by Otis Young, with escorting an 18-year-old sailor named Meadows, played by a baby-faced Randy Quaid, from Virginia to a naval prison in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Why prison? Well, Meadows was caught stealing $40 from a charity fund, a petty crime that's earned him an absurdly harsh 8-year sentence. At first, Badusky and Mule just want to get the job done as quickly as possible, but when they see just how naive, quiet, and beaten down Meadows is, they decide to show him a little piece of life before he's locked away. What follows is a road trip filled with bar fights, booze, women, and surprisingly tender moments. This isn't just a story about rebellion, it's a story about friendship and the fleeting moments of joy we cling to when facing something inevitable. Told you it was deep. So let's talk about why The Last Detail is so special, and why it doesn't always get the attention it deserves. First off, this movie oozes 1970s grit. Shot on location in real, run-down neighborhoods and smoky bars, the setting feels brutally authentic. There's no glossy Hollywood polish here. It's messily human, just like its characters. And then there's Jack Nicholson. This might just be one of his best performances. Sure, everyone talks about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or The Shining, but The Last Detail showcases Nicholson at his rawest and most unfiltered. His character, Badusky, can be wild, profane, and hilariously petty, but Nicholson never lets you forget Badusky's humanity. You feel his frustration with authority and his desire to do something good for someone, even if it's just buying Meadows a few beers. And let's not forget Robert Towne's razor-sharp script. Every line feels intentional, sometimes hilarious, sometimes sobering, but always a sucker punch to the gut. Fun fact, Towne actually based the story on a real sailor's tale he heard while in the Navy. Now you know I love some juicy behind-the-scenes trivia, so here are a few nuggets about The Last Detail that might surprise you. Even though Badusky feels like such a natural fit for Nicholson, he almost didn't take the role. It was Hal Ashby's passion for the project and Robert Towne's script that convinced him. Can you believe this was Randy Quaid's breakout role? He was nominated for an Oscar for his performance as Meadows, and it's easy to see why. His portrayal of this young, awkward kid on the brink of losing his freedom is heartbreaking. The ice skating scene where Badusky teaches Meadows to stand up for himself? Totally improvised. Nicholson was a master at injecting personality into every scene. Even with glowing critical reviews, The Last Detail struggled at the box office because of, you guessed it, the censors. Hal Ashby refused to tone down the cursing or the darker moments, and audiences weren't sure what to make of it. Now, what makes The Last Detail hit you right in the feels is how it explores themes of powerlessness, rebellion, and fleeting freedom. There's an undercurrent of anger in this movie, not just at the petty bureaucracy of the Navy, but at the unfairness of life itself. Why is Meadows, this dumb, soft-spoken kid, going to prison for stealing $40? Why are Badusky and Mule stuck ferrying young men to their fates? The characters are constantly clashing with authority, punching upwards in frustration, but at the same time, this movie is laced with warmth. Badusky and Mule barely know Meadows, yet they're determined to give him the best last days of freedom they can. It's about the brief, beautiful connections that remind us life isn't all bad, even when the ending feels inevitable. 50 years later, the last detail still holds up. It's a snapshot of the 70s, a time when movies weren't afraid to challenge authority and tell deeply personal, character-driven stories. Today, you can see echoes of Nicholson's performance in modern anti-heroes, angry, flawed, and deeply human. But The Last Detail is more than just Nicholson's show. It's a reminder of how cinema can blend humor, heartbreak, and real-world grit into something unforgettable. Although it still flies under the radar for many viewers, this movie is a cornerstone of 70s American cinema. And honestly, it deserves way more love. So, what do you think about The Last Detail? Is it one of Jack Nicholson's best performances, or do you think it deserves more attention? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you won't miss my next review. Check out my channel for more classics from the 70s, and let's relive the golden age of film together. Until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and keep loving those underrated gems. And by the way, save us a balcony seat and extra butter on my popcorn, please.
What the fuck's he doing?
Hey, Meadows!
Huh?
What's he doing? Bravo, Yankee. Bravo, Yankee. Bye-bye, end of the word. Hey, this son of a bitch is running away, Meadows!